let me introduce you to this project car that we've got going on behind me. It's a 1973 Corvette C3 and it's the big block, the 454. What we're doing to it is we're updating it and getting it back on the road and just making it a really nice car to be able to jump in and drive any day of the week. As you can hear, that engine is really sweet. We're having to take our time as the brakes don't work on this. The only thing stopping this 7.5 litre monster is that the rear calipers are partially seized on. Time to lift her up and see what we've got to deal with. As you can see, the underside is a little bit untidy looking and it's all covered in rust. Although it looks quite bad, the rust is actually just surface rust and it's not bitten into the structure of the vehicle at all. What a great looking car. Just look at all those sexy curves on the bodywork. They don't design them like that anymore. The first job is to remove the wheels so that we can get underneath easier without smacking our heads on them, and we'll be able to see much more with them removed. Up in that wheel well, you can see that the coating of rust is very similar to what it's like underneath the car. We're going to deal with that later because we want all of this chassis to look nice. As we've got so much to undo on this and we're going to unbolt as much as we possibly can, we're giving everything a really good coat of penetrating oil in the hope that it releases some of these rusted bolts. We're trying to work really thoroughly and give every fixing a good coat. Now it's time to start the strip down in earnest. This engine doesn't require massive work because it's actually in good order, but we're going to unbolt as much as we can off it, like this bracket that's holding the power steering pump, so that we can have them refinished so they look a lot better when they're refitted. There's a pile of parts that we've already removed. As you can see, the engine bay is just in a need of a little bit of care and attention, and it will start to look a lot better. These shocks look okay, but they're over 20 years old, so they're getting replaced.
So the only thing holding that in was one of the two bolts.
Not everything is as easy to remove, so here's some heat on the rear lower shock mounts. These didn't come out easily, and in the end we had to use a much bigger hammer than this, which damaged them and they had to be replaced. Here's the front as stripped down as we need it at the moment, and it's time to move on to stripping the back end. These are all the parts that we've removed that we're going to be sending for powder coating. As you can see, they're a bit crappy looking and rusty, but all solid and sound. So time to load them up into the car, and then we'll get them down the road to the powder coaters, and they should come back looking much improved. Luckily, we have a top-notch company that does both blasting and powder coating just a 5-minute drive away. I'll drop their details in the description down below. Now, for those parts that we can't unbolt and send to the powder coaters, we're going to use this laser cleaning machine. Time to get the safety laser glasses on. Now, how this machine works, it works through a process called ablation, and what it does is it actually vaporizes the rust and the paint and the grease and the dirt. One of the great advantages is it's a very clean process. It only removes what's there. There's no media involved, there's no contamination. We did use this laser cleaning machine to to clean the rust and paint from underneath the car, the frame, chassis and all the stuff that we couldn't unbolt for sanding and powder coating. I wasn't able to get any footage of that because I was ill at the time and the project had to carry on. So there is some footage missing that should have been included in this video. It's quite easy to use, it's just a case of methodically going over the surface until you can see that it's back to clean metal. Now, to protect the bare steel, we're going to use this special epoxy mastic 2-part paint made by Rustbuster. It's a direct to metal paint, so you can just put it straight on the steel, no undercoating, and it's designed specifically for jobs like this and frames and chassis and all that sort of thing. I was recommended this product by a friend of mine who is a professional car restorer, and I found it to be an absolutely superb product. I'll put a link to it down in the description below. And here it is after it's dried off and cured. Here's the same paint that we applied underneath the car. Look how it looks completely different now to the rusty mess that you saw before. And here are the parts back from powder coat. What a transformation! They look like they're brand new. While I was off ill, some of these parts got fitted back to the car, and this is what they look like back on. Almost factory fresh. Please subscribe to our channel so that you can see the progress of this Corvette being restored. We're getting very close to being bolting on brand new shiny parts. I'm looking forward to that.